This is 7 News live at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Erica Bivens. Breaking news near Bell City where a state trooper was shot late this afternoon. We go live to the scene where our reporter Liz Coe is standing by with the latest.
Erica, I'm on Fruget Road near Bell City where we had reports of a trooper that was shot earlier today. I'm here with Louisiana State Police Troop D spokesperson James Anderson to find out some more details. James, can you tell me a little bit about what went on today and what time it started?
Sure, Liz. About 2:43 this afternoon, one of our units was dispatched to a report of a vehicle in the ditch. That trooper responded, located the vehicle in the ditch, located a subject near the vehicle. An altercation ensued, and our trooper has been shot by the subject.
Can you tell me a little bit about his condition, where he's been, and where he's at right now?
He's at a local hospital. The wounds are serious, and we're just praying for him at this point.
What can you tell us about the suspect right now?
The suspect is in custody. He was transported to another local hospital where he's being cared for at this time.
In terms of the investigation process right now, I understand the car was in the ditch, and this was not a routine traffic stop at the time, but it was more a trooper responding to an accident that had happened. Is there any relation to the suspect and the vehicle at this time? Well,
we received a report earlier this afternoon about a vehicle driving in an unsafe manner. So we were already looking out for this vehicle. And when the vehicle wound up in the ditch, we put two and two together, figured out it was the same vehicle from earlier. At this point, it appears to be. This was a routine call, but then again, there's no such thing as routine in our line of work.
In terms of how the trooper was injured, what type of weapon was it? What more can you tell us about that?
A handgun was involved, and he was shot in the head. Right now, what you see before you, you see our detectives, our crime scene unit is out here along with Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Department, Jeff Davis Parish Sheriff's Office, Calcasieu DA's office. Mr. Drozier is out here on the scene. We have the coroner's office. We had tremendous support from Acadian Ambulance as well as firefighters in the area, and we're very thankful for their support. We really appreciate it.
And I understand right now the investigation is ongoing. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular or anything that you're focusing on right now?
Well, right now we have equipment that's known as a Nikon Total Station. It's equipment that we use at fatal crash scenes as well as shooting scenes, to where we can place items at the scene and conduct a more thorough investigation, which is what's taking place right now.
All right. Well, we'll check in with you again tonight on Nightcast. For now, at your service in Bell City, Liz Coe, KPLC 7 News.
This is 7 News Nightcast.
I saw a shotgun blast. This guy was carrying a sawed-off shotgun. Let me tell you something. That shotgun wasn't to do anything else but hurt somebody.
Good evening, I'm Erica Bivens. A Louisiana state trooper is in critical condition tonight at Lake Charles Memorial Hospital. 43-year-old trooper Stephen Vincent was shot in the head late this afternoon during an altercation with a man after responding to a call of an erratic driver. The shooting happened on Fruget Road just south of Highway 14 East near Bell City. KPLC's Liz Coe has the story.
It all started with a call just before 2:45 p.m. on Sunday.
Initially, we were unable to locate that vehicle. Short time later, we were notified of a vehicle in the ditch matching that original vehicle's description. Our trooper arrived on scene at 2:43 this afternoon. Shortly after that, an altercation ensued, and our trooper was shot in the head by this driver.
43-year-old Stephen Vincent, a 13-year veteran of state police and a decorated trooper, shot as he responded.
It's not good right now. I mean, it's just not a good way to paint this. It's a horrible, horrible incident. He was shot multiple times.
The man accused of shooting Vincent, 54-year-old Kevin Daigle. We were there when Daigle was escorted to a waiting cruiser. State Police Superintendent Mike Edmonton says Daigle was also taken to the hospital. Daigle, who authorities describe as having a lengthy criminal history, could have gotten away, but two people noticed what was happening and stepped in. They're being praised for their actions.
Thank God for these civilians. They showed up and they actually subdued the guy, actually put handcuffs on him, and they tended and gave first aid to the troopers there.
Multiple agencies have spent the day investigating to find the answers to this question.
But why? I mean, why did he pull a gun and shoot a trooper? It makes no sense. So at this point, our thoughts and our prayers are with Stephen and his family. That's where they need to be.
That was KPLC's Liz Coe. Now, The trooper was transported to Lake Charles Memorial Hospital, and KPLC's Scotty Hunter was there for that news conference held within the hour, and he joins us live with the latest.
Erica, right now we can confirm that Trooper Vincent was airlifted here late this afternoon. We are told just in the last half hour that he is still on the 3rd floor right now fighting for his life. That's the 3rd floor of Lake Charles Memorial Hospital. Now, our cameras were rolling as that state police helicopter arrived at the hospital this afternoon. Once we arrived here, you couldn't count the number of local and state law enforcement units already on the scene. We're talking Lake Charles Police, the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office, and Louisiana State Police. As of 7 o'clock, State Police Colonel Michael Edmondson identified the officer as 43-year-old Stephen Vincent. We can tell you Vincent is a 13-year veteran with Louisiana State Police. We do know Vincent was shot in the head, and the bullet was reportedly lodged behind his eye right now. Again, he is on the 3rd floor at Lake Charles Memorial Hospital fighting for his life.
KPLC will be carrying the services live throughout the morning. Thousands of people are expected to attend to pay their last respects for a man who will forever be a hero in the hearts of the people in this community. But organizers aren't allowing anyone to take their seats until the family arrives and has been seated. And we've been told upwards of 4,000 people could be present for today's service and procession. So many people wanting to show their love and support for the family. Of course, everyone in law enforcement has been wearing their black or blue stripe badges all week in honor of Trooper Vincent. Local residents have also taken time to pay tribute in their own special ways. Here are some pictures of mailboxes and other items adorned with blue ribbons and other decor. A lot of these pictures were taken from Trooper Vincent's hometown of Iowa. That community, like the rest of those in Southwest Louisiana, obviously reeling from this tragic loss. But perhaps even more so as they try to come to grips with one of their own being taken in such a senseless manner. Just about anywhere you travel in our corner of the state, homes everywhere are publicly demonstrating their own little salute to Vincent in their very own way. Well, KPLC's Erica Bivens is at Our Lady Queen of Heaven Catholic Church on Lake Street in Lake Charles, the site of this afternoon's funeral.
This is Teresa. I've been here on McNeese Street since about 11:30 this morning, which is when people actually started gathering. I have no idea, but it appears to me there must be hundreds, if not thousands, of people here to meet the funeral procession when it passes this way.
High Definition, sponsored by Nissan of Lake Charles. This is 7 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Agnes Durwan. We begin with breaking news in Lake Charles. Today, State Trooper Stephen Vincent's body is being moved from the Calcasieu Coroner's Office to Johnson Funeral Home. The police procession for Trooper Vincent will move on to Johnson Funeral Home. This is the route. It will move from Kirkman Street west to West McNeese Street and then north to Lake Street. That procession is about to begin, and KPLC's Teresa Schmidt joins us now live with more.
Agnes, this is Teresa. I'm standing by here at the Calcasieu Coroner's Office. It is a very somber moment. There are peace officers from every department, and they are about to bring the body of Trooper Stephen Vincent from the coroner's office and begin the procession from the coroner's office to Johnson Funeral Home. As you can see, many of his brothers in blue are lined up to be here to escort him. The tradition among the police is to never allow one of their own to be alone at this time, and it's such a moving experience. They have a flag flying, and the body is coming out.
Order. Halt.
As you can see, the parking lot is filled with police cars and other peace officers. The procession is going to head south on Kirkman Street to McNeese Street, where it will then go west to Lake Street and then head north to Johnson Funeral Home. These brothers in blue escorting their fallen soldier to the funeral home. So they have begun their procession. They are entering Kirkman Street and will begin heading south until they get to McNeese Street, and then they will head west on McNeese Street. We do have another crew in the area of Kirkman and McNeese Street to continue documenting the honors for this fallen state trooper. This is Teresa Schmidt reporting live from the Calcasieu Coroner's Office.
And thanks a lot to Teresa for that live report. As she said, we do have another crew along that procession route as it heads to the funeral home. We'll, of course, keep more coverage of this as it happens right here on 7 News and on our mobile apps. Now, this was the second procession, which started in the early morning hours today. KPLC's Erica Ferrando was there and brings us those details.
The tragic death of Trooper Vincent is really hitting close to home to our local law enforcement agencies and the community. And to honor this fallen trooper, law enforcement officers from across Louisiana took part in the procession this morning. Louisiana State Trooper Stephen Vincent is described as a true hero. He was a 13-year veteran of state police, and as his body is moved to the coroner's office before it can be brought to the funeral home, he is surrounded by fellow law enforcement officers.
He's a good trooper, and he would take care of people. He's big heart, and just wish I could have spent more time with him.
Vincent's cousin, Charles Abear, was there to watch the procession this morning and says it was overwhelming to see the endless line of law enforcement taking part.
Hit you right here for him to watch down on us now. He's going to be our guardian angel.
Several community members lined the streets to display their support for law enforcement and to honor this fallen trooper.
They took out a good cop. You know, he took out a... My heart go out to the family. I know they're here to protect us, so we're going to be here to protect them.
Because Vincent was a registered organ donor, he will continue to give even after his death.
Anytime people would need him, he was there.
Visitation for State Trooper Stephen Vincent is set for Friday, and the funeral will be held Saturday at Johnson's Funeral Home. After service, Erica Ferrando, KPLC 7 News.
Now, Friday will be the visitation for State Trooper Stephen Vincent. Visitation will begin on Friday at 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. at Johnson Funeral Home on Lake Street in Lake Charles. Visitation continues Saturday from 8:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. The funeral at noon on Saturday at Our Lady Queen of Heaven Catholic Church. The burial will follow at the Lacassine Cemetery on Ann Street. The dedications in memory of Trooper Stephen Vincent continue. Like many homes in southwest Louisiana, the Iowa Water Tower lights up in blue in his honor. Steins is donating the proceeds from its blue bulb sales to benefit Trooper family. CEO Dennis Stein says the company has made special arrangements to receive a shipment of blue light bulbs tomorrow afternoon. Calcasieu Parish Public Schools are also taking part in a fundraiser to benefit the Troopers family through the Louisiana State Troopers Association. Students and staff members are encouraged to wear blue shirts and jeans on Friday in a show of support. Participation at each school is at the discretion of each principal. Also on Friday, KPLC will hold 3 fundraisers for the Vincent family. They all start at 6 Friday morning and last until 7 that night. One takes place at the Mattress Joe at the Pre-Lake Mall in Lake Charles. Another takes place in Sulphur at the Mattress Joe on City Service Highway. And one takes place in Vincent's hometown of Iowa at City Park Pavilion. Trooper Vincent's decision to donate his organs is one that is touching so many lives. It's shining a light on the need for more organ donors as 21 people die each day waiting on organs. Tonight in our HealthCast, KPLC talks to Susanna Martin with the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency about the organ donation process and how to register. That is tonight at 10. A Louisiana State Trooper has been injured following a high-speed chase in Acadiana. That chase started around 7:30 this morning as troopers pursued a blue BMW in Kern Crow. The vehicle led them to Interstate 49 where speeds topped more than 100 miles an hour. Suspect's vehicle intentionally swerving to hit state police units. The vehicle then got onto I-10 and exited in Dusson. When the vehicle tried to get back onto I-10 West, troopers rammed the car to stop him from getting back onto the interstate. The trooper was taken to a local hospital to be treated for minor injuries. His name has not been released. Authorities say the suspect appeared to be highly impaired. The suspect's name also has not been released. 4 state police units were damaged. A reporter and cameraman are shot and killed during a live broadcast in Virginia. Virginia State Police say that as they were pursuing the suspect in that shooting, he ran off the road and crashed and was found suffering from a gunshot wound. The suspect is being treated for life-threatening injuries. He's identified as 41-year-old Vester Lee Flanagan II of Roanoke, who appeared on air at the TV station WDBJ in Virginia as Bryce Williams. Erica Edwards has more on the victims killed in the shooting.
The shooting were 24-year-old reporter Allison Parker and 27-year-old photographer Adam Ward. A third victim who was being interviewed was also shot and is hospitalized. The shooting happened live on air at 6:45 this morning. This is the broadcast right up to the point of the shooting. The victims worked for WDBJ, the CBS affiliate in Roanoke. A station tweet shortly after the shooting read, "We love you, Allison and Adam." Authorities believe they know who the gunman is and are in pursuit. According to Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, the gunman is believed to be a disgruntled employee of the station. Video shot by the photographer as the camera fell appears to show the suspect. Back at the station, employees are shocked and saddened as they try to cope with the tragedy.
They were special people, and, as Leo had said, they would brighten up a room every morning.
I cannot tell you how much they were loved, Allison and Adam, by the WDBJ-7 team.
Outpouring of grief for the victims is being expressed across the state and country as investigators try to determine how and why this happened. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
Wow, what a day it has been, and right now we want to check on our weather because at least that is cooperating with us today because it is a pretty nice day.
It is nice. We got temperatures in the low 80s out there right now, 81 degrees. Westlake Sky Cam. Let's take a look at temperatures around the rest of southwest Louisiana. 83 right now in Lake Charles and Sulphur at 84 with dew points into the 50s. The air is dry, and we're going to enjoy a nice sunny day for the remainder of the afternoon. Those temperatures are going to be up to close to 90 degrees for today, but it is going to cool back off into the evening and drop down into the 60s. So we are at least going to get to talk good things about the weather. I wish we could talk about the rest of the news in a good way, but we're going to have more morning forecast coming up in just a few minutes, Agnes.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. Well, we'll be back with much more news right after this. And we're back, and welcome to our Wednesday legal segment. I'm joined by Southwest Louisiana Law Center attorney Jania Coleman-Lee. She's in for Mark Justin today. And let's begin. We have our first question. If a business employee raises an issue because they mistake you as the wrong sex and ask within earshot of other customers if you're using the right restroom, do you have any rights against the business, even if the business and employee apologize? I feel violated, discriminated against, and harassed. Is there any legal action I can take?
Well, Agnes, we answer this question as we do legally at first, and that may be maybe. Looking at it from both sides, if the employer or if the manager of the company genuinely did not intend to discriminate or to embarrass the person, then there may not be a legal action against the company for that in line of discrimination. However, if this customer has continually patronized its business and the manager and the employees are making these comments in an attempt to discourage this customer from coming to their facility, in that respect, then perhaps there may be grounds for a legal action to be taken. However, there is a link on your website that refers to this action and legal actions that have already taken place that the persons who have interest in this can go to and get more information about.
Now, we're going to be cutting this short because we do have this sad news that's going on all over the country. But if people in general have discrimination questions, they can send them to us at our KPLCTV.com location there. Civil matters only. And, Janelle, we hope to have you back in the coming weeks because we do get this a lot. So thank you. Right now, we want to go to our shot of our procession that is going on through town right now. There you see it. This is the procession that is leading Trooper Stephen Vincent's body to the funeral home from the coroner's office today. This is part of a long-held tradition where the law enforcement will not leave one of their own alone at any time. So do you see them as they're all escorting his body to the funeral home, where there will be visitation that will be coming up on Friday evening and then the funeral on Saturday. This is something that has brought out an entire community as they support the Vincent family, the Louisiana State Police, as this continues to just get the attention of everyone as they want to do the most that they can for this man who's from Iowa, went to Iowa High School, was a military veteran, had worked with the Lake Charles Police Department, and then for many years with Louisiana State Police. Many of them describe him as a true gentleman, someone who was a great father, a great husband, a great law enforcement officer, as we saw at the memorial last night at the Iowa football stadium, where his own brother, who is the chief of police in Iowa, talked about him and how he had such a love for his community, a love for law enforcement, in fact, a love for the New Orleans Saints. He was a true fan of that team and a man who did a lot of running. There's going to be a fundraiser, we know, this weekend that is going to deal with the Lake Area runners, because he was a very athletic person. He was just someone who made a lot of folks very happy indeed. And there you can see this outpouring of grief and support from all around our area, law enforcement from all over the area coming in to show support at this. Look at this lineup as they continue on down the road. They will not leave him alone, and he will definitely not be forgotten, because he leaves an incredible legacy of service. And, you know, people will maybe think about the horrific way that he died, but a lot of people will remember the great way he lived and what he imparted to his community. That will definitely not be forgotten. And there you see just such an incredible honor for this man and for his family. He does have a young son, a wife that he leaves behind, one brother that is also a member of the state police. I believe his name is Terrell Vincent. And then we have Keith Vincent, who is the chief of police in Iowa. Apparently this family has an affinity for law enforcement, and they have done their utmost to protect and serve our communities. So this is why you're seeing so much people who are showing their own love, and really people who didn't even know him. We saw some interviews with some people this morning as that procession left Lake Charles Memorial Hospital, who said they didn't even know him, but they knew that he meant so much to his community. So this is something that we are just saddened by his loss, but know that his legacy lives on. As we continue to look at the procession that left the coroner's office just a few minutes ago with Teresa, and then this is our photographer Antoine Aaron, who is continuing our coverage as we show you the procession all the way to the funeral home. A lot of folks want to show their support. We are hearing that the school system, Calcasieu Parish Schools, is up to the principals at each of the individual schools, but they're being asked to wear blue on Friday in honor. Also Steins, they are giving their proceeds from the sale of the blue light bulbs that a lot of people are showing at their homes throughout this week and through to Labor Day. This is something that people can show in their own quiet way that they support the men and women in blue. There you see the light bulbs there. You go to the Steins, their proceeds will help benefit the Vincent family, because this is, you know, something that people need to remember. He does leave a family behind, and this is something that you can do in your own way to help support him and show your support of state police, law enforcement of all stripes. This is something that people, they have joined together to show their support, and we continue to show as the procession continues down the road in downtown and throughout Lake Charles as he goes on to the funeral home. That is Johnson's funeral home, and then visitation will be on Friday evening. We want to remind folks that if you want to do your part to help out, KPLC will be having several locations where we will have fundraiser. So all of that is on our website. Right now we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
All right, with all the sun, the story is the tropics this afternoon. We'll give you the latest now on Tropical Storm Erica. The storm is approaching the Lesser Antilles, still with a 45-mile-an-hour wind moving west at 17. The storm will be approaching the Leeward Islands by this evening, and then noticing the track ahead. I don't want to put too much attention on that center line because there's still room for change, and it's largely going to come down to whether or not this remains a weak tropical storm or if it does, in fact, intensify before making that landfall as predicted near Florida early next week. The reason why is, well, if it remains a weaker storm, the scenario would be it could make a more of a westward push, and that would be early next week. It could potentially come into the Gulf of Mexico, but if it does take that northern jog, that would likely be because it strengthens before landfall. So still a still a lot to be watching closely with regards to Erica, because I wouldn't say we're necessarily out of the woods just yet. As you can see by those spaghetti models, a lot could change between now and the end of the weekend into early next week. We'll go with the high today near 90, clear and comfortable tonight. Look at the 7-day forecast. We're going to stay dry for these next few days. Morning lows in the 60s. Agnes.
Right now, we're going to take a break. Stay with us. And welcome back. We are now going to go back live to Teresa Schmidt, who is live at Johnson Funeral Home.
This is Teresa. I'm live at Johnson Funeral Home where the hearse is arriving. The many police cars in the scene are arriving here at Johnson Funeral Home, where I understand they're going to line up next to the hearse with another salute to their fallen trooper. You can hear the sirens in the distance. There's a group here to meet the body of Trooper Vincent. motorcycle police are lining up.